some technical issues here, so I'm a bit late today. It's the usual stuff, internet playing up, what have you. I don't know why it just decided not to work as soon as I wanted to go live. There we go. Yes, so I've been dashing up and down the basically all over the house, trying to get a good connection, resetting the router, resetting it, turning it off and on, unplugging it, plugging it back in, plugging it in a different plug, plugging it in a different room. I mean, all that kind of thing going on. But there we go. So basically, I don't know what it was. I think something on my computer might have got stuck. So I kind of cancelled a load of programs that may or may not have been running. That might have been it. Who knows? It could happen again. Fingers crossed it'll be okay, but there we go. But anyway, made it in the end. All going well. Fingers crossed. So yeah, so we're doing all right. Yeah, it's been a bit of it's good news actually regarding that. I think they're actually finally going to do fibre optic broadband in my area, I believe. So fingers crossed. Although it might take them up to 3 years to do it. So we could still be putting up with this nonsense for some time yet. But anyway, there we go. What can you do? There's nothing I can do about it, so just have to go with it and play along with it, I guess. But it's a bit frustrating all the same, because it does cost, paying for this service that may or may not get. So it's a bit frustrating. But anyway, hopefully it's all right for the now. It's more reliable than it was. Let's put it that way. So at least that's something. So yeah, so today I'm going to do some tea cake reviews. So basically, Hush Puppie tea cakes. Yeah, so a bit of a strange one. I just saw these in B&M, I think it was, of all places. It might have been Home Bargains, but I think it was B&M. There's the gist of it. I'm just putting a chair right around. There we go. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, so yeah, and a bit of a funny one. And the gist of it is there's strange flavours here. Now, they've got the original tea cakes here. I say the originals. I assume they are the originals. Basically, Tunnock's tea cakes. Yes, there we go. So this is what I would say is the sort of benchmark for tea cakes, basically. And what a tea cake is, it's a bit like a wagon wheel. If you had a wagon wheel before, I'm sure you know what a tea cake is. But it's essentially a sort of dome of marshmallow covered in chocolate with a biscuit base is the gist of it. Yes. Now, Alan, how are you doing? Yeah, hope you're doing all right, Alan. Yes. It's good. Yeah, I'm glad. It's good to see myself as well, to be honest with you. I didn't think I'd be able to make it today, but I just about managed it. So there we go. Yeah, it's been one of those. Oh dear, technical issues. But yeah, hope you're doing all right, Alan. How are things for you today? How are you doing? I know you're a fan of the tea cake. I'm sure you are. Is it wagon wheels or both? I'm sure you are. So these ones do look pretty good. They do look quite an interesting one. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, I guess. Now, obviously, you can see here got these Hush Puppies. Slush. I said Hush Puppies before, and that's a shoe company, isn't it? Slush Puppies, isn't it? Yes. Slush Puppie. There we go. Yes. It's blue raspberry flavour apparently. Yeah, blue raspberry. So there we go. So I don't think that might be a real thing. I mean, I remember speaking to Scotty in Stash Watch, basically saying that didn't think blue raspberry was a real one. I'm not sure if it. I think I've seen someone that claims to be blue raspberry before in Asda. I think I have anyway. Yes, you love Tunnocks. Yeah, you love a Tunnocks. These Usher, I see. Or these you're unsure about. Is that the gist of it? Yeah. So there we go. So I've got a new monitor today, basically. Now, it's not quite in the same position as the old one, so I might struggle to read what's going on, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, hopefully I'll be okay. Long story short is, my monitor's usually a bit further over to one side, but at the moment it's kind of, I'll just see if I can, might be able to, might be a bit better. We'll see what happens. Yeah, there we go. Maybe. All right. Yes. Yeah, I love the Tunnock. These slush ones have a lot to live up to. Well, this is it. I mean, I must say, will they be as big? I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I feel like they might not be as big, but maybe not as deep. Basically, they do look a bit, flatter, don't they? I think is the gist of it. Although there's no image on the Tunnock's one, is there really? They've just got this sort of, it always looks like a bit like a circus tent, that for me. I don't know. But yeah, there's no image on them, so you can't really compare. So they have got a lot to live up to. It has to be said. I mean, Tunnock's are a classic, and I think, yeah, they just are a classic, basically. Now, there's the blue raspberry one, and there also is the red cherry one as well. So there we go, yes. So two different kind of flavours. I assume they are just literally flavours as well. I mean, I think it goes without saying, doesn't it, really? But they do, they look an interesting one. So I think what we'll do is maybe we'll open, what do we think? I don't know what's the best bet to do really with this one. Maybe we'll just open the Tunnocks, the original Tunnocks first, and have a look at that, and then we'll see what the ones compare to really. So I've got the other camera on, we'll see what happens. Is it worth, might be able to see that one a bit better, maybe, I don't know. We'll see what happens anyway. I've got two cameras, we'll see what's better or what have you. So it does have a little perforation there, but it seems to just be open quite simply, just like that. So just pull here to open. Look at that. I mean, well, there we go. I mean, don't know what I'd do if I didn't have that message to tell me what to do. I mean, maybe I would be stuck, but there we are. So there we go. So, although funnily enough, it doesn't seem to. There's no perforation on this one, so it's actually doesn't really. You literally have to sort of rip it by the looks of it. So Alright, well it does work there in the end. Okay, so there we go. So we've got a nice Tunnock's tea cake, a bit of a lopsided one there. Maybe we get a better one. A QC issue there with Tunnock's, who knows? But yes, I've got like a nice domed tea cake there. So it looks pretty good, doesn't it? It looks pretty nice indeed. So I'll say we'll be comparing these and seeing which one's the best one, or how they compare to Tunnock's, I think is the gist of it. Let's put these to one side for the moment. So, first of all, let's just say there's 6 times 24 grams in here, so that's what's that, 100 and, I don't know, well, probably might say on the back actually the actual weightage rather than me work it out wrongly, but incorrectly. But I don't think it does actually. Oh yeah, so, well, 6, where is it now? That's where it goes now. 6 times 24, I'm sure it said somewhere, but I've lost where it actually was. Was it on the front? Yeah, 6 times 24, so 246, 72, 144, I think that is. Yeah, 144, if my maths is right. So yeah, so we'll say 144 grams basically. And these ones 147, so you know they are, and the same with the blue ones as well. So they are pretty much the same weightage. These ones you get 8 in, but the other ones you get 6 in. So these are smaller, but the weightage for them is the same. My maths is right, as I say, these only get 6 in, ones you get 8 in them. So you know, different amounts, but the weightage for the packet is pretty much the same. In fact, you get more slightly in the Hush Puppie ones, but I do expect them to be a bit smaller. So, all right, well, tell you what, let's give the. What should we do? Should we give the red cherry ones? Just maybe we'll just open them all up at once. Maybe we'll do that. You know, maybe we'll just do that, compare them and contrast them, things like this. So here we go. So we're going to give these an open here. So maybe I should just open them up here. I'm not sure, but it's a bit hard to fit them on the camera, basically. Maybe anyone who's above cameras, maybe I'll have to do one of those, you know. Alright, let's have a look. There's a very nice smell coming from them, as I say. They smell very nice, actually. Yeah, they do smell very nice. Now you can clearly see though here, I mean, there's a difference. If we get the old, I don't know, the Tunnock's on, for instance, you can just see just how much bigger the Tunnock's is. And you can see there's a lot of biscuit. I imagine that bottom sort of slab in the Hush Puppie ones is basically just biscuit. So there's definitely a lot more biscuit than marshmallow. But they do smell nice. There's a nice smell coming from. These are the cherry ones. But no wrapper. You know. So yeah, there we go. You can see they're a lot smaller, really are. So let's take the Tunnock's out of the wrapper then, shall we? So we can get a even better perspective. Yeah, so look, a lot smaller really, a lot smaller. I mean, you know, I mean they don't look as nice either really, do they? They look a bit less uniform. They're certainly not, I mean, having said that, you know, some of the Tunnock's ones were a bit lopsided and things, but even so, they're definitely a lot smaller. I mean, that was the thing with wagon wheels, basically. If you like wagon wheels, they're basically a similar thing, but they are quite smaller as well. So an interesting one, but they smell quite nice. As I said, there's a nice aroma coming from them. And don't forget, you do get 2 more in the pack, and actually per weightage wise is a lot better. So yeah. All right, so let's have a look at the blue ones. I'll take one of those out, I think. I'm going to surprise us which is what. But as I say, I'm going to imagine exactly the same size. They're just going to have a different flavour. Probably a different smell coming from these ones. Not bad. But again, you know, the same shape basically, aren't they, really, the gist of it. But an interesting one all the same. So you can see again. And it's a bit rubbish. I mean, look at that. They don't even fill the pack, really. You know, I mean, far too tall for what they should be, these. You know, there's just no need for them to be that thick. I mean, I guess they're just trying to make them look as big as Tunnock's, but they're clearly not. There's no real reason for it. Either do 6 of them, make them a smaller, you know, size, you know, a bigger size each. If you want to make them look the same as Tunnock's, you know, why sort of have it smoke and mirrors, if you know what I mean? It's a bit silly that, but there we go. So let's have a look at the old calories. Now, if those of you did see Stash, which have gone out and got some other ones of these, you can see the 7th of July there, and the 14th of July. So I did the ones on Stash which were out there. I mean, I went into, funnily enough, I went into, I think it was B&M where I got these from. Actually, that's where it was. And all the blue ones were out of date in the shop. They were just out of date. And I was thinking, oh, I bet it's the blue ones I don't have, because I couldn't quite remember. But I thought, well, just in case, I'll get the red ones. I almost didn't bother. But luckily, it was the red ones that I didn't have. Well, I did have, but were out of date. So, but yeah, all the blue ones. So definitely check B&M. Literally, it was about 8 boxes of them, and well, I checked about 4 of them. You know, and they're all out today, and I believe, you know, I checked further back and things. So I'm quite sure they're all doing the same. So a bit wary there. Don't know if that's a bit rubbish really. I mean, I realise it is marshmallow, so you know, I assume it's not super vegetarian and things. So I don't know if there's an issue with that. Let's have a look. So I've got let's see. I'm assuming the blue and the red ones are going to be pretty much the same. So you see there's 79 calories each, 2.8 grams of fat, 1.8 of which are saturates, and per 100 grams, 429 calories, 16 grams of fat, 10 of which are saturates. And the blue one, so what's that? 429, 16, 10. Just have a check. 429, 16, 10. So yeah, so basically they've just, I would imagine, just replaced the colouring in them, or the flavour or whatever, you know, so there we go. But the Tunnock ones, let's have a look at the calories for those. So yeah, let's just see what it says first. Well, is it the right way around there? Yeah, so there we go. So 440 calories per 100 grams. 29.2 grams of fat, or 19.2? 19.2 grams of fat, 10.5 of which are saturates. Per biscuit, 24 grams. 106 calories, 4.6 grams of fat, 2.5 of which are saturates. So I think I'll have to probably do per 100 grams here, because they're not going to weigh the same. 440, 19.2, 10.5. 440, 19.2, 10.5. And this one here, the 429, so a bit less calories, a bit less fat as well. It was 19.2, this is 16. But the saturates is about the same, 10 grams of fat, 10.5 on the other one. So yeah, there we go. Interesting. But yeah, so roughly similar-ish, but the Tunnock ones per 100 grams a bit less healthy, I guess you'd say. But there we go. All right, so what do we think? Should we just give them a chop? And I'll tell you what, we'll give them a bit of the old measure first. And as I say, we have done we did see the weightages, so obviously that's the thing that will make the most difference really regarding the changing of the products over time. We'll give the Tunnock one a measure, so let's have a see. Height wise, it's roughly about 3.4 centimetres. And these ones, I'll say they're probably not going to be uniform, but roughly about 2.2, 2.1, 2.2. And the width, don't know how to measure it really. It's the width of the dome perhaps. About 5, 5.1, 5.2. And these ones 4.6, 4.7. But clearly massive massive difference just generally really. There we go. Alright. Bit warm today in the house. Getting a bit towards the summertime, I guess, even though it's spring, of course. But I'll tell you what we'll do then. We'll cut them. They're always a pain to do when you cut these, because basically if you cut them, they'll just scrunch down the top. So I might cut them from the side. I don't know really. Had a ridiculously sharp knife, it might be better. But I'll tell you what, I'll cut the Tunnock ones first, because just in case it gets the colouring and things like that. So I'll give the Tunnock ones a cut. I'll see if I can do it in a clever way. All right, there we go. All right, it's not bad. Okay, I'll have to wash the knife after all. Luckily, I do have a cloth next to me. All right, so there you go. You can see the classic Tunnock there. Look at that. It looks beautiful, actually, doesn't it? It does look so nice and lovely. Yeah, it does look lovely. Yeah, look at that. Very nice indeed. Yeah, lovely. Well, let's have a try the other ones then, shall we? So let's have a see. I have a feeling they won't quite look as quite as, I don't know, special, but so they are. I don't know if they are cheaper particularly. Really, I think they're probably about the same price. To be honest with you, is Slush Puppie a brand as well? I guess it is a brand, isn't it? Really, has to be, doesn't it? All right, let's see. We'll see if we can cut them the same. Okay, right. So we got the cherry one here. I'll just cut the one first as well. To wash the knife after each. Lots of sticky nonsense on there. Okay, right, okay. Let's try. Tell you what, they do look pretty good. Alright, move the knife away. Okay, so there we go. So we got these two here. And I don't know how well the colours will come through on the camera. Hopefully not too bad. Apologies for the state of my fingers, by the way. Got to there you go. Look, yeah, look pretty good. Look quite interesting actually, but you can clearly see the difference in the size there. I mean, two of these is basically one. One Tunnock's pretty much. Yeah. You know, I think that's the gist of it. Maybe interesting to eat both of those at once, actually. We can clearly see as well that the biscuit is probably thicker on the slush puppy ones, isn't it? Really, so you can see that there. So bit of a strange one. But obviously, you like the biscuit one. They're probably not too. They're like a halfway house between a wagon wheel, possibly, and a Tunnock's. Really, these ones, I guess. All right. Well, I guess we'll try the old. Let's try the original, shall we? So I might just turn off the other camera. Let's see. Okay. Let's give these a go. Let's have a try. Lovely and soft. I always like the biscuit. That marshmallow everywhere. I always like the biscuit on these. I tried to just not eat all of it really. I was trying to be careful and be good today, but that's out the window. Nice and the marshmallow just melts in the mouth. It's lovely actually. The biscuit's a nice biscuit as well. I don't know why I've always I'm not a massive fan of wagon wheels, but the Tunnock's tea cake really do taste pretty good. They're just lovely. Almost like eating a cloud almost. They're very soft and subtle and supple. Supple a word? I guess it is, yes. And the biscuit's nice as well. I think the biscuit works pretty well, but it's just a nice, I don't know, it's a weird biscuit. It's not like a biscuit anywhere else really, other than perhaps wagon wheels and other tea cakes. It's got a nice taste to it, and I think it's just balanced about right. I think wagon wheels for me just have a bit too much biscuit to marshmallow ratio. It's one of those. Okay, did I mention when they were veggie? Hello, Walls, how are you doing? Yes, I should have mentioned that. I don't think they are, basically. But it's a good question. Should have put that, really. Let's just have a look at the Tunnocks first. I mean, I think we're probably... Let's have a look. I don't think they will be, really, but you never know. Let's have a look here. Does it say... It's got palm oil in there. They should have looked at the ingredients before, actually. It does have egg in it to start with. So mallow 38%. Does have some, like it says, so it just says it's sugar, glucose syrup, egg whites. That's all it says there. And chocolate 34%. It does have egg white in it. Biscuit 28%. Does that add up to 60, 72? That does add up to 100, so that's quite good. Sometimes they don't. Let's see. It doesn't specifically say suitable vegetarians. I mean, I guess it's an egg thing, isn't it? So, obviously there is eggs in there, but it doesn't seem to have like any gelatin in there from what I could see, unless I've missed it, which is possible. But yeah, it does say that the mallow is sugar, glucose syrup, and egg white. So, I guess it's just the egg part basically. Tunnocks are, I think, yeah. I mean, it doesn't say. Well, I couldn't see it saying suitable vegetarians, but I say it does have the egg in it. So it's one of those where I don't know. I know egg might be one of those. Some people might class it as something and some not, but yeah. Purple glitter. Love tea cakes. Well, good. Yes, good to see you as well. And yeah, always good. Always good. It's there's a logo next to the Arabic. I see. Okay, let's have a look. Ah, yes. Well done. Yes. It was there after all. Honestly, yes. There we go. All right, so there we are. So let's have a look at the other ones then. I should also mention the ingredients really anyway. I forgot to do that. So I'm doing things out of order here. Yeah, well spotted there. Well spotted, Walls. Well spotted. So what does it say in this one? I do have the logo, I think that would be the easiest thing to see, wouldn't it? But I didn't, let's have a look. Alright. It says may contain egg, it says for sure. Okay. The chocolate flavours coating, 33%, so chocolate flavoured. Photo fat's palm fat in there. It does have mallow 33%, glucose syrup, sugar, dextrose, gelling agent. Yeah, beef gelatin. So these ones aren't suitable for vegetarians. It does specifically say beef gelatin in there. Alright. Yes, there we go. So these ones aren't suitable for vegetarians, basically. A bit odd that though, isn't it? I mean, I wonder why. What's the point when, obviously, Tunnocks can do it, so why can't these lot? It's a bit strange, isn't it? There we go. There's the opposite ingredients as well for these ones. I don't know what the flavouring difference would be. There's the ingredients for you there if you want to see. I assume it's roughly the similar, but obviously palm oil in there as well. Palm fat. I'm assuming it has the same. Yeah, beef gelatin as well. So yeah, so these ones, you see beef there. There we go. So flavourings in as well. It just says flavourings actually. So all right, there we are. Yes, beef gelatin. Yeah. Oh well, it's one of those. Into yeah, it's a shame really, and it's obviously Tunnock's show that you don't. Well, that solves it for most people, doesn't it? If it's well, for for lots of people who are vegetarian, that's for sure. It's not yeah, just not suitable for you, so that actually sort of throws it out straight away. And since Tunnock's is so nice and lovely, I wouldn't say Tunnock's tastes any worse either. It tastes, well, I mean, I've not tasted the ones yet, but you know what I mean? It tastes really lovely and fluffy. It's not like I'm thinking, oh, this is not a nice marshmallow flavouring. Maybe it's not as thick, maybe, because it was quite liquidy. I mean, not... It sort of melted in the mouth, basically. Sometimes marshmallows have a bit of a substance to them, so maybe these ones will be a bit more, something about them, a bit more chewy, thick, maybe. I don't know, but the Tunnock's ones definitely worked for me. They're very nice. I think the Tunnock's ones, as I say, had a lovely chocolate shell, which tasted okay. It wasn't really was just there to contain it all and help you eat it. Really, it didn't really add too much to the taste. But I've reviewed Tunnock's before. I'm sure I gave them a 4 out of 5. Not 100% certain really, but I think that's probably about right. As I say, lovely, liquidy, melt in the mouth marshmallow. It's a lovely consistency, but it is quite liquidy. By which I mean it's not massively solid base. It's not like one you could handle like an actual marshmallow you toast on a campfire or something like that. And the biscuit's really nice, and I think it's well proportioned. So I think the regular Tunnock's is a 4 out of 5 for me. I think they're really nice. Yeah, I do like those a lot. But I think I've given them a rating before. I'm sure it was 4. Apologies, I'm not consistent, but I think I think it probably was. But yeah, you can see these ones here. I don't know. They do stick to your finger a bit when I touch this. I feel like the Tunnock's one, you can kind of almost see that it's just, well, maybe you can't if you can on the camera, but it's a lot more liquidy, when I'm touching this. It's just, you can see it just coming. It's almost like, a sort of, a bit more like a cream consistency almost, whereas these ones here, while they do stick to the finger a bit, you can see the difference. It's a lot more solid. It's sort of slightly on the finger. But if I did that to the Tunnock's one, my finger would just be going straight through it. And in fact, just a so. So there's definitely a difference in the marshmallow, but in this case, I think it works. I don't think there's any problem with it being like that in the Tunnock's one, because I feel like it works perfectly fine. I don't think it needs to be solid really, but that's the difference. So I think anyway. Well, let's give them a go. This is what's this one? The blue raspberry one. Let's give it a bit of a taste. Obviously, it does feel a lot more foamy. I don't know really. Am I getting much of a flavour from it? Not really, to be honest with you. I'm not getting much of a flavour from that at all, really. It's not that. I'm just not getting much of a flavour from it. I mean, I guess there's something there. It's got something slightly, but I don't know. The biscuit's a bit. Basically, it's not too much different, the biscuit from the other one, from the Tunnock's one. But I don't feel I'm getting much of a blue raspberry flavour. I don't feel, I don't know. It did smell like it when I opened it, but I don't know. You can see it just the way it's sat on top. It does look a bit foamy, doesn't it? But it does, it looks good enough and things like this. But definitely, I don't feel I'm getting the flavour from it at all. Can't see that you can just peel off the chocolate there. So it did say it's chocolate flavour. So the chocolate just really allows you to hold it. It's not really there much for actual flavour and things like this. It's okay though, but certainly not what you get it for. I think the biscuit's the most prominent thing in these ones. It's just, I don't know. Yeah. You can just see, as I say. Yeah, you can definitely tell the difference in the marshmallow. This one is just a lot more solid, a lot more foamy. The Tunnock's one, as I say, you can see it's just borderline liquid almost. It's just, you know what I mean. So, but I think it's nicer actually. I think it's a lot better the Tunnock's one. It just tastes, I don't know. It's probably less marshmallow-like. The typical marshmallow taste actually. But I think it works better. I think it's just a lot more interesting. It's a lot softer, but it's a lot more fluffy and creamy and yeah, I don't know. It's just it's just nicer, yeah. And I think that's probably down to it being vegetarian. I think, or super vegetarians. I don't, because without the beef gelatin, it doesn't make it as solid, basically. I assume anyway. But the blue raspberry ones, I don't know. I mean, I can't really even taste the flavour. I've just tried tasting it separately. It's just a lot of colouring. I guess it's about that the slush puppy drinks are blue and red generally, aren't they? You know, when you see them in the cinema and things, whatever, wherever you can get them. But in this case, I really don't think I'm tasting much of a flavour from it. I mean, they're okay though. They're passable. You know, they're a passable marshmallow tea cake. But I don't think. Yeah, they're just. There's nothing really wrong with them, to be honest with you. It's just the fact that it's not really got much of a flavour, even though it tries to sort of say it has. It's just colouring, really. And the fact that it's, you know, it's just not as good as the Tunnock's one, basically. But it's not bad. It's probably just an average one, really. I think it's probably 3 out of 5. And I reckon your one's going to be very similar. Because it's basically going to be very, you know, it's just the same, but red cherry pie. But cherry's a more stronger flavour, so we'll see. So we'll see. But it's very pink, this one. You see, rather than sort of red. Definitely pink. A bit more of a smell coming from it, maybe. But, yeah. But again, we'll see. Do the older prod test. Again, you can see that it is a lot more solid. So you can hear that as well. But yeah, a lot more solid, basically. Let's give it a taste then. Let's see. Got that bit then that dropped. I think this one has more of a flavour to it. You can definitely taste it. Does it taste of cherry though, is the question. Does it taste of cherry? Well, I don't think it does really. What does it taste like? I mean, it tastes vaguely of some kind of fruit flavour, but it's not really... It's certainly not cherry. It's certainly not cherry, that's for sure. I mean, cherry's quite a distinct flavour, isn't it? It's not a subtle flavour cherry, really, and this is quite subtle. I don't know. I don't know what sort of flavour I could describe this as, really. I mean, it's certainly it's definitely red cherry, isn't it? Yeah, red cherry flavour. Yes. Hi there, QP. How are you doing? You're currently in Greece, you say. Getting ready for dinner, so I'm listening silently. All right for some of you, have a nice time. Yeah, what's the weather like in Greece? I imagine it's pretty good. I hope you're having a good time now. Hopefully, I know it's warm in Spain at the moment, but I think maybe Greece on the other side of the weather front or whatever it is. But I hope you're having a good time. Greece, wow. All right for some. Get some chocolate and send some photos. Yeah. Hope you're doing okay, Keepy. Good to hear from you. Hope you have a lovely holiday as well. Yeah. So these ones, well, I don't know. Yeah, red cherry. I mean, it's just not really. I don't know. I'm not too happy with them. Basically, I feel like the flavour, if anything, is probably a bit sort of. I don't know. A bit. It doesn't taste like cherry. It doesn't really add anything to it. I think it's probably a detrimental flavour, if anything, really. But I guess it's trying to have some kind of flavour. Best way to listen, you find. I'll see you. Oh, well, thanks very much, Walls. Yeah, thanks for that. Yes. Looking at me, scoffing my face. Yeah. Oh, well, I don't mind. That's perfectly fine. If you prefer to listen, that's no problem at all. But yeah, I think these red cherry ones, I don't know. They're just the flavours. I mean, the blue one. Let's just try the blue one again. Maybe the blue one does have a bit of a flavour, but it's certainly very subtle. It tastes just like, it's as if like saying that the Tunnock's one had a flavour. You know, I guess there's some kind of flavour to it. You know what I mean? But I don't know what I describe it as. I feel like it's a similar concept to the Tunnock's one, really, with regards to flavour. So I don't really feel like it, you know, it's got anything, you know, anything specific to blue raspberry or whatever. Whereas the red cherry one does have some kind of flavour, but I feel like it's a bit more. I feel like it detracts from the experience rather than adds to it, really. I mean, it's not for me, I don't think. It is a flavour. It does add something. I guess it's, you know... But I don't know, it doesn't really taste like cherry for me. It tastes a bit... I'm not too happy with it. It's all right, but it's not really adding to the experience, I don't think. So I think the blue ones are better. I think the red cherry ones, perhaps... I don't know, maybe just slightly low. Should I say 2.5 out of 5? I'm going to say 2.5 out of 5, I think, for the red cherry ones. They're just a bit disappointing, basically. You know, just a bit disappointing, that one is. So I think the Tunnock's win out by far, really. You know, I'd give them a 4 out of 5. Maybe, you know, they are a lovely experience. I don't know. Maybe if they had like jam in the middle, maybe that would add a bit to it. Something a bit extra, that might give it a bit of the extra oomph to make it a 4.5 out of 5. I'm not sure whether I've given them a 4.5 out. I would have, I think, I don't know if I've given them a 5 out of 5 before. I think it would have been a 4 or a 4.5. I reckon for me, having something else in there, like sort of jam in there, it would be a 4.5. I don't know if would it ever be a 5. I don't know. Not sure. Depends what, difficult one to say. The dark chocolate ones are nice as well. They do dark chocolate ones, and I think they're basically quite similar. Maybe a bit nicer. Maybe it's a difficult one. Yeah. Yes. Now, I meant if I'm going to listen to someone, then I wouldn't be making any noise while doing so. I see. No, no worries at all. Honestly. Oh no, but I'm glad. I'm glad you enjoyed it one way or another, so it's no problem at all. Yes, but yeah. So these ones, I think 2 out of 5. So I think for me, as I say, the Tunnocks wins out by far. It's just a lot nice. Let's have another nice experience. Let's see. It's just a really nice. I mean, you can see it's kind of collapsing. It is really liquidy. You know what I mean? It's not. I mean, you could argue that might be something against it, maybe, but I'm kind of happy it's like that. I'm glad it's not so thick and I don't know, spongy like the other one. I feel like, I mean, I don't mind marshmallows in, when you get them in those packs and they are a bit like that, and you can just eat them with your fingers, and that's fine. I think that's fine. I'm assuming they're usually probably got gelatin in, but so there is that. But generally, I don't mind that. But I think in this case, it's just a lot better to have it that sort of soft, sort of creamier marshmallow filling. It just works a lot better, and I think the tea cakes are a lot better for it, really. So yeah. So for me, the Slush Puppie ones, they're all right, a bit different, but the flavours generally, the blue one just wasn't really as strong at all that I could tell, really. I mean, there was something there, but may as well not have been. And the red cherry one was just a bit, it wasn't cherry-like at all, and a bit, just probably detrimental, if anything, really. So maybe the blue one benefited from not having much of a flavour. So it's a shame they haven't really pushed the boat out and made the flavours nicer. Maybe if what they should have done, I mean, I can realise why they haven't, because they're trying to go for the branding of the Slush Puppie thing when it's those drinks, sort of all the colours and things. But if it was a jam in the middle and he just done, they coloured the jam or something, I'm not sure whether it's a good idea to do that, but let's just say they did. You had like a blue jam in the blue one and a red and just a general red one in the red cherry one, and maybe made it flavoured it cherry, so it wasn't really jam, it was something, you know what I mean, a bit like how jammy Dodgers have a centre, something like that, but obviously a bit softer, and just had the regular. I mean, maybe they would have done, still a gelatin marshmallow. It's one of those, isn't it? They probably would have still done that. But either that or a similar one to the Tunnocks. If they'd have done that, I think that would have been a winner, really. I feel that would have been a bit more special, a bit more interesting, probably a better way to do it, a bit more exciting rather than just sort of, I don't know, colouring and half flavouring the marshmallow. But had they done that right, had they done a decent flavour, then I wouldn't be saying that, really. But I think from just thinking about it, I think I would just prefer like a jam filling and a softer marshmallow, I think, rather than this sort of harder one. So I think if that was the case, I think that would definitely be a lot better. More interesting as well, I would say. Having that sort of centre, it would really have added a bit more interest and a bit more, just made it a better product, really. Maybe it would be a bit gimmicky. Generally, when you've got jam in a tea cake, it's not that much and things. You don't add loads to it, but I feel like it's good enough. It just adds a bit more to it, and I feel that's fine because it's quite a nice product anyway. Generally, I feel like it would have worked okay. So that's how I would have done it, I think. But I can understand why they haven't, as I say, because the Slush Puppie products are just pure blue and red, aren't they? So it's one of those. But yeah, if they weren't constrained with the branding, maybe that's something they could have done, and I certainly would have think it would have worked better actually, and been a bit of a better, more interesting product, really. Obviously, if they did it wrong, it didn't taste very nice, the sort of the jam sense or whatever, then obviously that's another thing. But I think it should have worked okay, I would have said. So yeah, so an interesting one. Probably 2 misses there, really. I don't know if it's worth picking them up. I think they're quite forgettable, really. Obviously, vegetarians. Thanks for reminding me about that walls, by the way, as well. I almost glossed over the ingredients. Sometimes I usually go too far into the detail, and then today I almost forgot. So thank you for that. But there we go. Yeah, it was a good point, and good that Tunnock's is a vegetarian. But as I say, it does have eggs in it, so. I don't know, it's one of those, it depends on your viewpoint regarding that, I think. But there we are, one of those. But yeah, interesting products, but Tunnock still wins out. Tunnock is still the best. I think we probably knew it was going to be, didn't we, really? I mean, Tunnock is a hard one to beat. I think for me, it is a 4 out of 5. It's nearly a 4.5, but I feel like, I think it'd be a 4.5 if it had like an interesting filling in for Tunnock's, really, or something a bit more about it, But it's still very nice and very enjoyable. Really are very nice indeed. As I say, 3 out of 5 is the average result. So 4 out of 5 is above average, and I think that definitely is a way, a good description of Tunnocks. I think definitely an above average treat, that's for sure. Obviously, anything above that is getting towards exceptional products, you know. So, and the average chocolate thing is always. I always stress this: 3 out of 5, an average taste is still nice, and you know the blue ones did get a 3 out of 5. They're still nice to eat, but they're definitely more towards a 2.5 than a 3.5. That's for sure. But they're still nice. But you know, but the red cherry ones were just a bit disappointing, as I said. They just had a bit of a funny taste to them. So there we go. Yes. Jam's supposed to be lovely in homemade tea cake recipes, apparently. So I think you're right. Oh, thanks, Walls. Yeah, I think exactly. I think that's the way forward. I think, you know what I mean. I think you could definitely. I think as nice as Tunnocks are, I think it would be wrong to give them higher than a 4, really, because although some arguments could be made for 4.5. It depends on the day, really. Because they are really nice, but I feel like, you know, as I say, with the addition of jam or some other filling, really, maybe something else, but jam, you know, honey or chocolate in the sense or anything like that, I think definitely would improve it, or even a multitude of these different things, you know, I think definitely would bring something a bit more oomph about it. So there we go. Cheers for the view. Oh, no problem, Walls, no problem. Yes, thanks very much. Thanks for your participation. Good to see you. Yeah, good to see you. Yes, there we go, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that. Interesting one, that's for sure. Check them out, see what you think anyway. But I think for me, if you're a Tunnock's fan, you're not going to be swayed, basically. I think they're a bit gimmicky, the other ones, is the gist of it. So obviously for kids, maybe if they like bright colours and stuff like that, it's one of those. And there are more of them in that. For that, you know, they do last a bit longer, I guess you could say. So they're probably good for kids as far as that's concerned. But do be wary of the beef gelatin if it's a thing for you, you know. So it's one of those. But there we go. But yeah, right, thanks everyone for watching. Great to see you. Sorry I was a bit late today. One of those technical issues, but we got there in the end. So there we are. All right, have a good holiday, QP. Yes, and take care of Walls as well. And Alan, of course, from before. And Purple Glitter. Yes, have a good one also as well. Great to see you all, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye for now. See ya.